Good afternoon and welcome to your 4 to 5. I'm Chad Silber. They let me come back today to fill in for Maddie Gardner, Taysha Moyes, Eric Chilton here on this fun Friday. We are excited. We got a lot coming up, but as you know, this is an interactive newscast. Please chat with us on our live streams, and of course, we chat right back with you. As always, let's get started with your 4 to 5 roundup. New York City is canceling its Twin Beams of Light event because of coronavirus. The lights shine in honor of the lives lost in the 9/11 terrorist attacks. A national September 11th museum and memorial spokesperson says organizers are concerned for workers who set up the display. The memorial and museum is planning alternatives, shining spires and facades of buildings in Manhattan in blue. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp says he's dropping a lawsuit against the Atlanta mayor. Kemp was suing Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms for face mask enforcement. The mayor and city council were working on plans to shut down businesses again after a resurgence of coronavirus cases in the city. Kemp says he and the mayor reached an agreement not to put the city back into a phase 1 restrictive plan, but they've yet to reach an agreement on the overall issue. Kemp says he'll change the language of the executive order that's set to expire tomorrow. The mayor says her only goal was to save lives, not hurt businesses. Meantime, the virus outbreak in New Zealand is now impacting 30 people and extends beyond the city of Auckland. The country is still investigating original cases after the first reported case impacting a person with no known travel history. Auckland's lockdown has been extended for 12 more days. Health leaders believe the virus was reintroduced from overseas travel, but they can't figure out how traveler cases reached residents. It's now investigating whether shipping workers are the link. Before the outbreak, the country went 102 days without local transmission of the virus. The oldest living American who lives here in North Carolina is celebrating her 116th birthday. Pastor Ford's grandchildren are planning a drive-through celebration this weekend. Ford has lived in Charlotte for 58 years. Her family says the pandemic isn't new to Ford since she lived through the 1918 Spanish flu. Not only is she the oldest living American, she's also the 7th oldest person on the planet. For her birthday tomorrow, family is asking people to donate to the National Kidney Foundation. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not sure I would want to live to 116 years old, but that's just me.
I think I'm going to have to disagree with you, Chad. I like being here. I want to stick around for as long as possible. But I just love that she's getting that drive-through parade. You know, we talked about it the other way. This is just the way things are going, right? Celebrate a birthday, get a parade.
Yeah, I was doing the math and I sat there thinking, first of all, it's all about health. I'll live to be 120 if I'm in good health. But I think with her, I was doing the math. She was 8 years old when the Titanic sank.
Oh
she remembers
God.
the Titanic. That's crazy.
Wow.
And then she lived for the movie, and there is still not enough room on that little raft. There could have been, though. All right, later this month, the Carousel at the Greensboro Science Center will be open to the community. Now, opening day is on Wednesday, August 26th, but if you are a member of the Greensboro Science Center, you get to get in a little bit earlier on the 24th. Aaron Sherrill with the Science Center says they are adjusting their plans, though, to keep things as safe as possible. So although the Carousel has 56 hand-painted and hand-carved figures, only 21 will be used every ride.
In a given row, we're going to have 2 figures that are available, and then in the next one, there would only be 1, and then repeating kind of that way to make sure everybody is a safe distance apart, 6 feet, no matter which figure they're sitting on during the ride.
Each figure will be sanitized after every ride, and there will also be spaces marked on the ground for those watching or waiting to ride. Cheryl says the doors around the building will stay open to ensure adequate airflow, and there will also be hand sanitizer stations throughout the building. Now, single rides will be $1 for Science Center members or $2 for non-members, or you can get 7 rides for $5 or $10 respectively. But admission is first come, first serve, so no reservations. You can buy tickets at the Science Center Admission Center and at the Carousel admissions window. We have the details up on our website.
One of my new favorite events is happening again this weekend. Open streets in downtown Greensboro. Parts of Elm Street will be closed every Friday and Saturday through September 5th. Restaurants and shops can set up tables and retail in the streets to boost sales and, of course, social distance. The streets are closed from now through 10 tomorrow night.
Coronavirus trends in North Carolina appear to be stabilizing. Now, health officials announced yesterday that although those hospitalizations are stabilizing along with cases, the state is still not where it needs to be right now. So as of this afternoon, there are more than 142,000 cases in the state and just over 1,000 people in the hospital. Now, there are resources for families if you need it. If you need resources maybe like food, shelter, employment, or childcare, you can actually call a 24-hour information hotline. That number is 211. Families needing childcare can call the childcare hotline. That is 888-600-1685. Now, that hotline helps families find childcare for children up to 12 years old. You can call that line Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, remember, if you have any questions about any of this, all you have to do is text the word virus to 336-379-5775, and we'll give you all the information you need to know. Again, this is a number to text, so please don't call.
All right, let's check the forecast, and we always start with temperatures. Some of you seeing some rain-cooled 70s right now, most people in the 80s. If you look to the north, Mount Airy, Walnut Cove, and Reedsville are all between about 74 and 78 degrees. More rain to the north and west than has been right over the heart of the Triad. Greensboro's at 82, along with Winston-Salem. High Point, you have 85, Burlington 87, and an even 80 for Lexington and Asheboro. Here's your forecast in the short term. Scattered storms, some of them could be slow moving. Why do we care about that? Because that means it could sit over you and dump rain for a little bit longer than normal. So we could have isolated areas of flooding. We'll watch for that. They are widely scattered, though. 82 tomorrow, again, scattered storms just like today, widely spread in the afternoon. But we get back to a more normal situation as we head through the second half of the weekend and definitely into next week. Here's the radar. This is what you want to see. North and west and south and east. Those are the two places that we watch. You can see the heavier showers and storms from Elkin to Mount Airy and over to Sparta. And then if we move back down south and east, it's to the southern parts of Davidson, Randolph County, and into Montgomery County. More on your forecast coming up.
It is round 2 of the Wyndham Championship down at beautiful Sedgefield Country Club in Greensboro. One thing that's always in tip-top shape, the course. WFMY News 2's Luke Liddon is live at the Wyndham now with more. Hey, Luke.
Yeah, Chad, I'm a big golfer myself. I might not be good, but I still am a golfer. And every time I come down here to Sedgefield Country Club, I almost find myself drooling because the course is really that pretty. The sights on TV just don't do it justice. You have to be here to understand the beauty and the magnitude of the course and what these golfers are working with. Now, this course is always in great shape year-round, but when August comes around, you will not find a nicer course in the area. The Wyndham Championship takes pride in hosting this annual PGA Tour event with their perfectly manicured fairways and greens, and it really doesn't get much better than this, and they are aware of that.
The golf course is really close to perfect. I mean, it is good. The players, you know, I've talking to the PGA Tour rules officials and advanced guys, and they were like, the players are going to be through the roof about the condition of the golf course.
It's like a win-win because even if you don't play well, you're still on one of the nicest courses in the Triad, right? That's one way to look at it. I don't think the golfers would like to say that, but at least that's my process of thinking. And coming up a little bit later here on WFMY News 2, we will take a look at that leaderboard and see who is leading the way and see who hopefully will make the cut. Jordan Spieth is also involved in that discussion. That'll be coming up a little bit later here on WFMY News 2.
Luke Liddon, one of the few people allowed to be at Wyndham this year. You're a lucky guy. Well, keep chatting with us on our live stream 4 to 5. We'll be right back.
Multiple sports conferences have canceled fall sports, and experts say that could cost schools a whopping $1 billion in losses. Big Ten and Pacific 12 conferences have already canceled all of their fall sports, and experts say $1 billion loss in revenue comes from ticket and merchandise sales as well as other sports-related revenue. Now, the loss could grow if more divisions cancel games. One Washington University sports business professor says losing football alone could damage college athletic departments. Football programs bring in approximately $18 to $22 million each season in ticket sales alone.
Well, if colleges nationwide cancel their football seasons, the NFL says it'll consider Saturday games. This could require special permission from local governments because of the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961. The act prohibits NFL broadcasts on Fridays and Saturdays after the second Friday in September and ending on the second Saturday in December. The league says if even one or two colleges keep football season, it will not move any games to Saturdays. You decided which classic Panthers games will air right here on WFMY, your official home of the Carolina Panthers. First, Saturday, tomorrow, the 2015 NFC Championship game against Arizona. You remember that? That was the game the Panthers won to go to the Super Bowl. Next Saturday, you'll see the 2003 divisional playoff game at St. Louis. Finally, on the 29th, you can watch the Panthers' 2015 Thanksgiving game at Dallas. All games air at 8 p.m. on Saturdays, and you can watch them all right here on WFMY. We'll be right back.
A UK venue is testing out new ways to see live music. Now, Virgin Money Unity Arena hosted the UK's first socially distanced concert. Now, take a look at this. Here's how it works. Cars are parked 2 meters apart. That's about 6.5 feet. And then patrons are taken to private viewing areas. Those areas are small fenced off areas where groups can stand or sit if they choose, distanced away from other groups. Patrons can also order food and drinks beforehand or through a delivery app.
You know, it's been a long-standing tradition in the Triad. The music for a Sunday Evening in the Park series is phenomenal. I've been to many of them. They've entertained us for years, that's for sure. And not even a pandemic can stop these folks. Organizer Ryan Deal told me how it all works and what you can expect in the weeks ahead.
So Ryan, let's talk about this concert series. I have been to many of the Music for Sunday Evening in the Park series in my life, but now you guys are doing it virtually. Tell us how it works and what we can expect over the coming weeks.
Sure. So Music for Sunday Evening in the Park looks a little different this year, but we are live streaming on Sunday nights at 6 p.m. from the Creative Greensboro Facebook page. So each Sunday night at 6 p.m. through August the 30th, folks can log on to facebook.com/Creative Greensboro and join in on the concert. There's no Facebook account required to view the concert because our page is public. So anyone with a web browser can join us.
You know, it's funny, you and I were talking before we started recording, and I feel like as the world goes on and let's just say the pandemic gets better, we may keep these virtual elements because you guys are getting some big numbers.
Yeah, it's interesting. We've had over 30,000 viewers at each of the first 4 concerts in the series. So, you know, we're generally not packing 30,000 folks into the park in a normal summer for these concerts. So it will be interesting to see if I hope that we are able to maintain some sort of streaming component for concerts like this into the future. It definitely is helping us expand the impact and reach of the program.
Tell us about the future. What type of music will we see over the next few weeks? Because it ends at the end of the month, correct?
It does. The concert series ends on Sunday, August the 30th. And so you'll find some Americana, some rock, some gospel, some funk, some soul, all within the next 3 concerts.
That's phenomenal, man. Good luck with this. We can't wait to listen in.
Thanks. I hope you'll do it.
So if you want more information on this, just go to WFMYnews2.com. I'll have that story up in just a minute so you can link and see the actual bands and groups that will be performing. One is this Sunday, by the way. So I asked you on Facebook, what do you think is the best way to go back to outdoor concerts, the safest way? Here's what you had to say. Teresa Galloway said, you know what? We went to dinner and a show last Saturday in Wytheville, Virginia. Social distancing was great. All right, good news there. Don Gann says, I'm really not sure, E. I do appreciate the nickname, Don, but I sure do miss them. I was wanting to go to the Doobie Brothers tour. Yeah, weren't we all? Carol Grant said simply, just don't. That's what she says. And then it was funny. Right after that on the Facebook page, Jackie Emerson said, just go. Difference of opinion there. Joan Phillips said virtually would be the best way to do this. I have to tell you, as someone who loves music, that I truly miss outdoor concerts. I went to a winery recently that did social distancing. They actually had everything roped off, so everybody had to be 6 feet apart. And I don't think there's anything wrong with doing it that way. That's safe, and get back to some live music again.
I have a great idea. I think that everybody, if they're at a park and at a concert, they should all be wearing the inflatable T-Rex costumes. And then you don't have to socially distance anymore and you could be everywhere you want. And then I've got a very original name for it. We're going to call it Jurassic Park.
I love it. We'll do that at a drive-in.
Right. What do you think, Tasha?
I feel like that would be hot. No, it's North Carolina in the summertime. I don't want to wear a whole thing all over me. But I think the idea of just spacing people apart as much as you can, no one touching the same things, you know, the singers way far away, I feel like it can work out. We can make it work.
And I think going back to what you said, Tahisha, I believe those inflatable costumes have like some sort of fan to keep them inflated. So there you go. You've got your own air conditioning system built right in.
All right, Chad, we're doing that. We're getting a group of people at Channel 2. We'll get about 7 or 10 of those costumes and go to a drive-in.
I'm copywriting it, so all you at home, don't even think about trying to do it. Your 4 to 5 is coming back after this. Hey there, Facebook people. Are you watching? Are you paying attention? Yeah, I'm talking to you. I see you up there. I come up higher, but that camera is just too high, so I can only wave this much. So what do you think of the newscast so far? This is my second day filling in. Please be easy on me. I hope it's going okay. I know Maddie is much prettier than I am, but I do appreciate you watching. What do you think of my idea? You know, when we were just talking about the Jurassic Park idea, that was my idea, so don't try to steal it. But wouldn't it be cool if you were just at a concert and every single person there was wearing an inflatable dinosaur costume? I mean, how cool would that be? The other idea I had, I was thinking about doing, you know, have you seen those? I don't even really know what sport it is or what game it is, but it's a huge inflatable ball that you are inside and you roll around into other people. Imagine like sumo wrestling, except within a huge plastic bubble. I think that would be cool too. If there was music, obviously you'd have to put up big barriers so people wouldn't roll down a hill and off into the sunset. But anyway, just wanted to say hello. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great Friday. And I hope you have a great weekend planned. Stay safe out there. It's going to be hot, humid, and it sounds like there could be some storms. So I hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. See ya. A new crop of police officers graduated Winston-Salem's basic law enforcement training today. 27 new officers completed 30 weeks of class and training. They must go through 1,200 training hours to get that accomplishment. Forsyth County District Court Judge Denise Hartsfield gave the commencement speech. She said she understands it's difficult entering a law enforcement career during a pandemic. She adds that everyone working in the justice system is working toward the same goal, no matter their department.
At the end of the day, the cry is for justice, and justice for all. Because at the end of the day, if some folk are free and others are not, that's not freedom at all.
Hartsfield mentioned the high number of children she's recently seen in her courtroom facing charges for violent crimes. She said she believes the graduating class is ready to tackle the issue along with senior officers in the department. A big congratulations to the graduating class, and thank you in advance for your brave service.
A California officer is getting praise for rescuing a man in a wheelchair who was stuck on the railroad tracks. You gotta take a look at this. Officer Erica Uria noticed that the railroad crossing arms were coming down and a train was approaching quickly. Like you can see in this body cam footage, it shows her jumping out of her patrol car, asking the man if he can stand up, and then pulling him out of his chair inches away from the track before the train passes by. Now, she only had 7 seconds to save the man from the tracks. Uria says she doesn't see herself as a hero. She only did what she hoped someone would do if it were her or one of her loved ones.
It's just doing what you would like someone to do if that was your family member, you know, a friend, a loved one that was stuck on the tracks.
The 66-year-old man suffered a leg injury, but Uria and another officer who arrived after the incident were able to treat him. He is in the hospital now, expected to recover. And when you see that video, we've played it a couple times for you, your heart kind of stops, right? I was just really glad she was in the right place at the right time and was able to step in and help.
Right, and I get chills watching that video. I've seen it 3 or 4 times now, and just watching that the body cam video, you get chills because, I mean, this man was facing certain death if she wasn't there and she didn't do what she did. So hats off to her, definitely a hero.
It's just nice to see, you know, we need good news, and it's good news that stuff like this happens, and that we can see it and understand. And the internet's a very cool thing in some ways. I know it takes a lot of heat, but when we spread good news, it's doing some good things out there, and it's not all bad, that's for sure. Let's get to the forecast. That may be good or bad. It depends on your attitude here or your preference, because some people are saying my yard needs some rain. Other people saying don't want any more. Just depends on where you live, right? Here's what's happening, and this really tells the story. Widely scattered. You could be getting just a deluge of water your neighbor could get nothing. I mean, that's kind of the way it is summertime in North Carolina. I mean, look, a lot of this rain is either north and west or south and east. We'll go back to the northwest again, Surrey County, with heavy rain and some lightning in that. We do not see watches or warnings yet, or they would pop up automatically here. But from Elkin up to Mount Airy and west to Sparta and Allegheny County, that's a fairly strong area of rain and thunderstorm activity. A little bit also you can see down toward central parts of Davidson County and south central near Salisbury is really where that gets a little bit heavier. And overall across the area, we do see increased rain chances. We will see that for your Saturday as well, a 70% chance. Back to normal though. Sunday really through the rest of next week, we're in the mid to upper 80s, which is normal for us this time of the year.
Hi, we're doing a mic check here, and for those people on Facebook, when I do a mic check, I say the states in alphabetical order: Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia.
Now, Chad didn't say Georgia the way he normally says Georgia, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
This is a mic check. My challenge to Chad is you need to start at Georgia because I never get past Georgia. They always cut your mic off. I'd like for each subsequent mic check to go further and further, please. Thank you.
Please and thank you. Yes, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check. Mic check.
I know. Yes, thank you. I'm not even done writing my script yet. Mic check 1, 2, 1, 2. We'll be back in a second.
Good afternoon and welcome to your 4 to 5. I've got breaking news. It's Friday. Friday, folks. Are you excited? Woo! Do you have fun plans for the weekend? I hope you do. I'm Chad Silver, filling in for Maddie Gardner today with two of my best friends here at WFMY News 2, Eric Chilton, Tahisha Moyes. We are ready. I hope you are too. As you know, this is an interactive newscast. You can chat with us on our live streams, and of course, we chat back. A lot of news to get to today. First up, lawmakers and the White House are at a standstill over more coronavirus help. Democrats are asking for emergency funding for the Postal Service in an effort to help the possible rise in mail-in ballots for the election.
President Trump continues to push the narrative that mail-in voting this November could be a source of fraud.
Millions and millions of mail-in ballots, because they can be forged, they can be captured, they can be taken.
In an interview with Fox Business News, the president admitted the Postal Service needs more money to process those ballots. But if he has the opportunity to block that funding, he might.
If we don't make a deal, that means they don't get the money. That means they can't have universal mail-in voting. They just can't have it.
Mr. Trump later clarified at the White House that he would not block a bill.
No, not at all, no.
Just because it provides funding to the post office. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle agree the post office needs to be financially stable.
We should remember that postal workers are frontline workers, and they've taken a lot of risk in order to keep this essential service going.
Democrats are also questioning the motives of the new Postmaster General Louis DeJoy, a major Republican donor who's given more than $1 million to the Trump Victory Fund. CBS News has learned that after he took over the Postal Service in June, he implemented cost-cutting measures that have led to delays in mail delivery.
He seems to have been put in to destroy the post office and certainly make it much harder to conduct a fair election.
In a statement, DeJoy said, despite any assertions to the contrary, we are not slowing down election mail or any other mail. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
Early voting is closed at one polling site in Florida because of the coronavirus. Election officials say that a poll worker at the Punta Gorda courthouse came into contact with someone that has COVID-19. Now, those voters are now being told they can still pick up or drop off a vote by mail ballot. Now, here in North Carolina, the State Board of Elections says there is a shortage of poll workers. Election officials say they need 25,000 workers by November. It is a paid position and workers will be trained. Applicants must be registered to vote in the county they wish to serve. The board chairman says they usually rely on older populations to serve as poll workers, but they are a high-risk group for contracting COVID-19.
A new poll shows President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden are in a tight race in our state. Biden leads President Trump 45-44 in the latest poll released by the Civitas Institute. It's important to note, however, polling occurred days before Biden announced Senator Kamala Harris as his running mate. The poll also found 70% of likely voters think the country is going in the wrong direction. Wake Forest University Athletics is launching a program meant to get as many athletes as possible signed up to vote. It's hosting an event on Monday from 10 to 3 inside the Miller Center. The university is also planning a campus-wide registration event on September 22nd. 2 Wants to Know is continuing the voting discussion today. Tanya, there are a lot of important dates coming up.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to start with the easiest one. And you know what that is? It's Election Day. Okay, so we got that one, November 3rd. All right, but the last day to request an absentee ballot to be mailed to you is a week before the election. That's October the 27th. Hey, let's drop that bottom graphic there so that everybody will be able to see these. Because what I don't want you to wait, though, until October 27th, because that doesn't give you much wiggle room for mail delays or delivery. Now, the last day to register to vote is 25 days before the election. That is October the 9th.
And Tanya, as you know, I listen to 2 Wants to Know voicemails
yes, you do.
From viewers all the time. And Marilyn said, my husband received a registration notice, but it's addressed to his nickname. She said that he's already registered, and now she's concerned because it seems they've got him down twice.
Right, and there's a lot of third-party groups sending out things. They get public databases, and they send it out to everybody and their brother. The Board of Elections is aware on the local and the state level.
We know that many groups are sending out these requests for absentee ballots. The request form itself isn't a ballot, it is a request for the ballot. As long as it's blank, a voter can use it. And please send it to the Guilford County Board of Elections. Do not send it to any other organization.
All right, as of August the 9th, North Carolina voters have requested 163,374 absentee by mail ballots, more than 7 times as many as the 22,000 requests submitted at the same time in 2016. We want to let you know this. Starting September 1st, the State Board of Elections is also going to be having a portal so that you'll be able to request an absentee ballot using an online portal. Again, it is mailed to your home, and you either mail it back or you bring it back in yourself.
All right, let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup here. Grandfather Mountain has canceled its autumn special events. Park leaders say the nature preserve wouldn't be able to accommodate the number of guests while ensuring social distancing. Some canceled events include Junior Ranger Day, Girl Scout Day, and Very Scary Halloween. However, the park's Fall Color Ramble guided walks are still scheduled for October 3rd through the 11th. Grandfather Mountain is already limiting capacity to prevent crowding. The Cary-based video game company Epic Games is suing Apple and Google. Apparently, the two tech giants blocked the makers of Fortnite from the App Store and Google Play, saying Epic violated guidelines by offering another way to buy in-game currency other than going through the Apple and Google systems. Epic Games immediately filed the lawsuit. CNN Business says tension between the three companies has long been an issue. The news of Bennett College closing its campus this fall and working remotely has some high school parents scrambling right now. That's because the middle college at Bennett College is usually located on the campus. Well, the district says the middle college is not closed and students will be able to learn virtually. But for parents eventually hoping to send their children back to a physical classroom, GCS is now working with them on other in-person options. The Winston-Salem Police Department and the Winston-Salem Foundation are helping families prepare for school. School supplies giveaways, they were held today. The first 200 children were given a book bag, notebooks, paper, and pencils. Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools is continuing with remote learning under Plan C for at least 9 weeks for the first part of the year. School leaders will review the possibility of entering Plan B later on. The upcoming school year is putting enough stress on families. Back to school shopping should be one less worry. The National Retail Federation says an average family spends more than $780 while back to school shopping. Save yourself the headache and consider buying at Goodwill. You can find cheap school supplies, books, lamps, chairs, and tables. Your purchases not only help you, but Goodwill's workforce development programs. It's, of course, a win-win.
We helped more than 60 people find jobs just last week, and more than 70 people find jobs the week before. It's something that's happening every day right here in your community. And when you shop at Goodwill, those dollars directly support that mission right here. And I think we all at this point know someone in our community, if not right in our household, who could use help finding a job.
Goodwill's end of summer BOGO sale on blue jeans starts today and ends next Thursday. It includes children's and adults' jeans. No matter where you shop, there are plenty of ways to save. Search for coupons before shopping. Check out sales at stores before you go. Experts say it's easy to save money when back to school shopping because companies want your business.
We found some pretty incredible deals at Staples, at Walmart. There's really deals all over. You know, back to school is a time when everybody is really trying to woo consumers and understanding that moms and dads all over the country are going to these stores trying to save.
You should check out our back to school section on our app or website. No matter what's happening this year, that first day is always important. Share your back to school photos and videos with us. Let us see your back to school setup at home even. Text those to us at 336-379-5775. Photos and videos could be featured on the Good Morning Show. If you have any questions about this school year, text the word school to that same number on your screen.
I thought we would talk about the tropics a little bit because we're watching this one system out there. It does not look threatening to us just now, but when you see that track at your first glance, you'll be like, whoa, wait a minute, but everything's going to be okay. This is the system we're watching, the tropical satellite here. We'll zoom in and show you the latest here. It is a tropical storm, and it looks like it's moving basically west-northwest at about 16 miles per hour. It's Josephine, but when you look at the track, by Monday, Tuesday, it starts to make a pretty hard turn back up to the north and to the east. And also it will undergo a good bit of shear, we think some wind shear, as it moves on to the west toward us. And that will reduce it in intensity quite a bit. So I don't think we have to worry about that too much. Something interesting, though, I just wanted to show you. Tim Buckley and I were talking about this before the newscast. You see that little disturbance off the east coast there. It's to the north of us, but that system actually has about a 70% chance of developing into a tropical storm. That would be Kyle, if that does happen. That'll be over the next 2 days, and in the next 5 days, a 70% chance also. So we'll keep our eye on that one and keep you posted. It will not affect our coastline at all.
As you know, Greensboro has been home to the Wyndham Championship for decades, and with that comes a lot of local talent making a name for themselves down at Sedgefield Country Club. And Luke, there have been a handful of North Carolina natives who are creeping up that leaderboard today.
Yeah, Chad, among the dozens of golfers within the Wyndham Championship, it's easy to get lost among all the names, but if you look close enough, you will see many North Carolinians who have and are currently playing very well here at Sedgefield Country Club. In fact, so far through the first two rounds, ECU alum Harold Varner III is right near the top of the leaderboard, just a stroke back at 9 under par, while Tom Hoagie, who hails from Statesville, is leading the entire field so far at 10 under. Not to mention Webb Simpson, a Wake Forest alum, isn't trailing too far behind either at 6 under. Maybe, just maybe, one of those men could take home the Sam Snead Cup like these 5 did in recent memory. In fact, 5 North Carolina natives have won the Wyndham Championship. Raymond Floyd took home the title all the way back in 1979, well before I was alive. Davis Love III is a 3-time winner who won in 92, 2006, and 2015, while Scott Hoke in 2001, Webb Simpson in 2011, and JT Poston just this past year. And we have got weekend coverage of the Wyndham Championship all weekend long right here on WFY News 2. Watch all the great action from here, Sedgefield Country Club, starting on Saturday at 2 p.m., 2:30, lasting until 6 p.m., on Sunday. But of course, we will have all the live coverage right here on WFY News 2 and take a live look at that leaderboard and the leaders coming up during sports right here on WFY News 2, so be sure to join me then.
We are rooting for the local guys. Thanks a lot, Luke. Keep chatting with us on our live streams. 4 to 5 is coming back right after this.
Hello, mic check. I don't know what happened because nothing's different. I mean, I don't know. That's never happened before, so I don't have a clear answer. It's in the same place it always is. Yeah.
I've got a Friday surprise for you. Dolly Parton says she's working on a Christmas album. It'll be her first holiday album in 30 years. She says it'll feature duets with musicians like Michael Bublé, Billy Ray and Miley Cyrus, Jimmy Fallon, and Willie Nelson. A Holly Dolly Christmas will have some holiday classics as well as some originals. You don't have to wait for Christmas Day to unwrap this present. She'll release the album on October 2nd.
All right, Mariah Carey, I'm waiting for you next. It's been too long. All right, speaking of music, it plays into my question of the day today on Facebook. I asked you all, what song best describes 2020? And some of these comments were great, so let's get right into them. Darlene Moore says, You're Contagious by the Isley Brothers. Beth Allred says, Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. Barry Raleigh says, Ball of Confusion, The Temptations. Wanda says, Patsy Cline, Crazy. Princess says, I'm Still Standing, Elton John. I watched the music video today for the first time. Very entertaining. All right, John Tripp says, It's the End of the World as We Know It. It's by REM, but you know, I don't feel fine like the song says. And a couple people actually commented that song. James says, The End by The Doors. And then Tracy Whitman says, Don't Stand So Close to Me. And that for me is the first song that popped into my head by The Police, because that's what I want to say to people when they are intruding in my 6-foot bubble.
So I actually did a little bit of research for this story, and I wanted to let you know that I found some motivational songs. I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor, Stronger, What Doesn't Kill You by Kelly Clarkson, Don't Stop Believin', Journey, Beautiful Day by U2, Survivor, Eye of the Tiger, and I'll Be There for You. Remember that song from Friends, the Rembrandts? What about you, Chilton? Okay, we lost Chilton. He was so excited about this that he just turned his computer off. Oh, is Lizzie back? Are you back, Chilton? Oh, it looks like we lost him. Well, anyway, what do you think, Tahisha? What are those songs?
Well, you know, it's funny that you brought up I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor, because I actually started singing that to myself in the break. It's my one karaoke song that I always pick when I go to a karaoke place. And you know what? We will get through this sometimes. It's just kind of, you know, the next month of the year. I don't know what September's going to bring. Oh, now I have another song, Green Day's Wake Me Up When September Ends. So maybe that could be another song to describe 2020. So
yeah, it's going to be.
Here we are.
Yeah, here we are. We'll be right back.
Hey, sorry, I lost IFB, so I had to dial back in. But for a second, I thought we just lost Tahisha. Sorry.
That is hilarious. Don't stand so close to me.
Hey there everyone, a really simple experiment for you this week. We are going to inflate a sandwich bag using just vinegar and baking soda. So here's what I did. I grabbed about 2 tablespoons of baking soda, put that in my sandwich bag here, and then also I'm going to use about a 1/4 cup or so of vinegar. And the way the experiment works is you just pour the vinegar in the bag that has the baking soda in it and watch what happens. Here we go. All right, when you do this, just make sure that you zip up the bag as quick as possible so you don't let a lot of the gas that we're about to create escape, and it will make it a little bit easier for you to inflate the bag. So here we go. I kind of left a little opening here they can use and pour it in really quickly and then zip it up. And watch what happens. You see it inflating? Look at that. See, I made a little balloon using the Ziploc bag. All right, it's as simple as that, and you end up with something like this. You see that the bag is inflated, and what happens is when you combine the baking soda and the vinegar, it makes carbon dioxide gas, and that gas wants to expand and it helps to inflate the bag. Now, I will say this, in many cases you're going to want to open up the bag before it inflates too much because it could pop and release all the liquid that's down in here. But all in all, that's a pretty easy chemistry experiment for you to try at home. Well, that's a look at this week's WFMY News 2 Science Geeks.
All right, forecast-wise, we see scattered storms. Overnight low tonight. Look for highs tomorrow around 82. And yeah, we've got those scattered thunderstorms, a lot of it north and west, and then in the southern parts of the Piedmont. So from Mount Airy down to Yadkinville and Elkin, we're seeing that area, that kind of triangle there with some heavier showers and thunderstorms, some lightning associated with that as well. Also southern half of Davidson County, a little bit towards Siler City as well, and northwestern Montgomery County. Know that these storms are widely scattered. That's the way it's going to be. We're kind of, I mean, it's that time of the year. It is what we expect. But they could sit over you longer, so we could watch for isolated areas with some minor flooding. So we'll keep you posted on that heading into the night. Same story on Saturday, a cooler high of 82 with a 70% chance of late day showers. Again, slow moving, but then we're back to normal. A little dry, actually, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Temps build again, mid 80s, about 84 to 87 during that time period. Otherwise, sunshine and a late day pop-up shower or storm, typical stuff for us. That'll be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and we lock in at 85 degrees for those 3 days. Our overnight lows, for the most part, except for a mild 71 tonight, we're mostly in the upper 60s for the entire 7-day forecast. Just kind of a typical summertime outlook, except for tomorrow's 70% chance of late day rain.
Coming up on WFMY News 2 at 5 o'clock, parents, teachers, and students are getting ready for the first day of school on Monday. We're digging deeper into some of the challenges families are still facing just days before the new school year begins. That's next on WFMY News 2 at 5.
Yes. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I'm not working at 11 tonight. Well, we're about an hour until the event starts, but Elm Street is already blocked off.
Yeah, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just live on camera. 33 seconds shot, live back on camera.
Hey there, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Callie, let me know if you have radar or anything. I doubt you do. Okay.
Hello, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for 5.
So let's be honest, 2020, not the best year in the world. First 10 weeks, not bad, went downhill after that. But I hear a lot of talk on social media and among friends that this is the worst year ever. Now, it's arguably one of the worst years for our lifetime. But let's go back in time. How about the year 536? I made a few notes for you. A volcanic eruption put half the Earth into a period of darkness for 18 months. Not a good year. A few years later, a plague led to the collapse of the Roman Empire. Again, not a good year. 1918, this is the one I want us to focus on. The influenza pandemic, which is technically H1N1, we've heard of that before, killed millions in that year. By the way, World War I had just ended, and now we get this pandemic. 1/3 of the world's population was infected. 33% of the world infected. There were 675,000 deaths in the US. We look at COVID-19, 167,000 deaths. Obviously not good, but that year was catastrophic. This number got me. The number of deaths worldwide with the pandemic, the influenza pandemic of 1918, 50 million. Coronavirus so far, 21 million. Now, 2020, do I want to live this again? Do I want to stay with things the way they are now? No, it's a horrible year. It's the worst year in my lifetime. But we probably should take off the label worst year ever. Folks that lived back in 1918 might disagree. I would give 2020 an Amazon rating of 0 stars and would not recommend. But that's just my 2 cents. And that's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.